I'm about to tell you a short story about a very good friend of mine that I lost, and perhaps you can use that to your advantage as you think through this process of selecting a guardian. That's coming up next.
No information obtained from the following production is legal advice and does not create an attorney-client relationship with the law office IAJ, Law LLC, or any attorney or professional appearing on this program. You should consult an attorney for individualized advice regarding your own situation or specific legal concerns.
If you knew me personally, you'd know that I am an optimist. The glass isn't half full from my perspective. It's maxed out. When I received a text message a couple of years ago regarding one of my very good friends, it really hit home. Quite frankly, it was a shock. A person who's been in my life since kindergarten. He had two children, a beautiful spouse, a professional serving others in the healthcare world. So, just reflecting on him and our friendship, there's really never a need to say, hey, things were going to change, other than we were all going to progress and build towards what we had always talked about. So just reflecting on a situation where the act of God is something we really can't plan for. None of us can. And that's hard when it does happen. I believe every parent, whether married or not married, has an opportunity to serve their children through the use of very specific documents, granting a guardian to their children in that situation where hey, we never thought that would ever happen type situation. And there's a really a significant difference between talking about it and doing it. Because when it comes to that moment, having it on paper is what's going to count. Otherwise, we're just, as parents, we're just rolling the dice. One of the very first tips that you can find in my article here is that communication is critical. Now, this is communication with the person or family that you foresee a child or your children being cared for. But more importantly, this discussion starts inside. What do I want? How do I see things unfolding? And this process takes many turns, as you know, to the point where what we decide today and how we identify that plan with our significant other is going to change, very likely. Grandma and grandpa today, who are in their 60s or 70s, they might be equipped to care for a child or your children today, which is great. But maybe down the road, we don't even know if our parents can care for themselves. So we want to have alternatives, or a backup plan to the backup plan, if you will. And we can do this through the use of documents that identify a guardian for our children. And let's be honest, it doesn't always have to be a parent or our parents to step in. Some of us don't have that luxury. Sometimes it's a sibling. But we have questions on, is our sibling living long distance away, or are they close, or should it be a family friend? But maybe we disagree with some of their decision making or some of their politics. There are ways to not only encourage but almost require that our children meet or are working towards certain expectations. Maybe that's a private school. Maybe that is a certain background in their education, or certain extracurricular activities that we want our children to at least be introduced to or participate in. I know it seems so far off the beaten path of just identifying a guardian, which can be a challenging process mentally. But when we think about the guardian and who we're trying to select and trying to put it on paper, which is the key, we can think about the more creative side of things. Really, how do we want our children to be cared for? A lot of families I see identify specific faith that they want their child to be, moved towards or presented with. So I really believe in identifying a guardian for your child or children. I believe that there are ways to allocate resources or your money so that they can meet certain expectations that you have, and we have to get over that hurdle of saying, well, it's not going to happen to me or our family. How could it? Personally, I just know that that's just not realistic, unfortunately. So it's that way to promote the best welfare and best situation for our children, and it's something that I look forward to sharing more with you or helping you get to that point. So with that, thanks for joining me, and I wish you the best.